So I'm going to be explaining why Crimea is important, basically. So let's look at the map a little bit. One, I'm in a private server, so by myself. So to explain a little bit more. So let's look at where Crimea is before every country dies or whatever. Let's go. Are they at war? I think so. No, they're not at war. Okay, so Crimea right here in the Black Sea, right? Bordering Ukraine and not bordering Kuban, but you can just send a troop over here and cross. But surrounded by Ukraine, Free Territory of Ukraine, Ukrainian Soviet Republic, the Don, the Kuban, and yeah, that's what it's surrounded by, right? Then around them they have Romania, Bulgaria, Greece, United Kingdom, Turkey, Armenia, Georgia, and Russia, and the Soviet Union too. So Crimea is like that part that is like, even all the chaos. Look at the chaos in Western Europe, the chaos in the Russian Civil War between the Ukrainians and the other Ukrainians, and the Russian Civil War between the Russians and the Soviets. Between them, Crimea is right here. I'm not even involved in any war, but I'm important because look, I have access to the Black Sea. For Russia, access to the Black Sea is very important. Now, say if there was like trade systems like a global conflict too. If you have access to the Black Sea, you have trade to like a bunch of trade systems. Now, if Russia takes Crimea and destroy the nations here, I can have my opinion on things that are going on in Constantinople, things that are going on in not in the Caucasus, but things that are going on in Turkey. Like if I was Russia, and if I went into war, I would beat up these states here, and I would take Crimea. And for me to do that would mean I do have more influence over Turkey. Right, all over Western Europe. Like, if the Soviet Union takes the Don Kuban, well, that means they're strengthening their position in the Caucasus, right? But Crimea doesn't have... Crimea is kind of isolated, in a way, because in the Civil War state, unless you're playing Ukraine, the blue Ukraine, the only real thing you really have to do, and the only thing you want to do, is probably peace Poland, unite Ukraine, take this stuff. And if a player does do that, and they end any of the wars, they can be as strong Ukraine. Basically, so Crimea is that important for Ukraine because Crimea is Ukraine's territory that they can have control over for Black Sea. Like Black Sea is 1, 2, 3 naval zones, right? So that means that 1, 2, 3. Now Ukraine would have control of this naval zone, which is the biggest naval zone in the Black Sea. This is the one that Georgia or Kuban would control, right? So if Russia takes it, they would control this. If Russia takes Ukraine and then takes Crimea, they would own both zones and have jurisdiction over control. But for example, like last game I played on NRS, the person who was playing the UK had all of Turkey. He didn't want anybody to go through the Istanbul Canal here or Constantinople Canal. Why? He didn't really give a reason. He just said, I don't know, but the reason would probably be because he doesn't want to be either challenged, number one, or to have anybody press up against his control over the Black Sea or the Mediterranean and Greece, right? This is also a key reason why Crimea is very important, because Crimea has the biggest naval province that they're surrounded by. So if I put one unit out there, then I move it over to, let's say, Kuban. I take Kuban. Now I own both provinces control. There's no navy in this game, but if a strong Crimea, they can isolate themselves. Like usually Crimea in this, I would say, is sometimes allies with Germany, or they're just like. They have they're more isolated, but they're more like, stay away, like hands off, like stay away from me, So, they don't have any steel either. Their economy, it says it like, they don't have any puppets, they don't have anything like this, but it's just the idea. Like Crimea's right here. Like in Crimea has their cores right here. So my core is Kherson, right? I have a core in Kherson, even though Kherson is very divided right now. I have a core there. If I really wanted to, I could take over this province while the Ukrainians are at war. Right? Or I could take the free territory right here. I was right here when they died. I could take it. And Crimea is very good at that because, number one, none of the Ukrainians are focused on Crimea. They're focused on killing each other, right? So Crimea can build itself up, take out the Kuban, take out, Kherson, maybe bully the Soviets Republic out, maybe bully the Ukrainians out. Maybe unite Ukraine and flex their muscle well, flex their muscle to either Romania, flex their muscle to any of the Western, European states, or flex their muscle to Turkey, who's getting invaded right now by Armenia, losing to they're winning to the Greens, but flex their muscle to them. But the thing with Crimea, it's very important, right? But it's also very important for Russia. Say if you do have a Crimea who's very strong, or like who is just staying isolated. If they're staying isolated in Crimea, Russia can see that as, okay, he's not doing nothing. Let's just smack him in the face and end him a little bit. But if you have a Crimea who's very aggressive, the expansion, that's a very important player for Russia to have. Number one, an ally, either a puppet who can control Ukraine, because during the Civil War there's a lot of unrest that goes on, and then a lot of civil wars and a lot of rebels. Like after, if you get puppeted, like if Russia puppets Ukraine, which is probably the most thing that's gonna happen because there's a lot of resistance there, a lot of rebels will rise up. If there's nobody playing that puppet, they will rise up. So if you're playing Crimea, and if you get puppeted, and if you take care of your provinces, lower unrest, it shows to Russia that, hey, this dude is gonna take care of Crimea and Ukraine for me, and I don't have to deal with it. Right? Basic, easy thing. And Crimea, and look at the position it's in. Like, I would say the Western European countries, very stable over here, they would have an opinion on what's going on in Eastern Europe. So, they might support Crimea in maybe a war with Turkey. Like, Turkey's freaking losing to Armenia. Like, if Crimea wanted to land over here in Karabakh, take lands, I'm sure the West would support that as long as they don't take too much of Turkey. So that's basically it. If you have anything to add else, like SLAD, just put it in the comments. I may respond to you too, but Crimea is important. It's very isolated, and I still have the same amount of guns, 25,000, but you don't have any factories though, I don't think. No, you have one civ, but it's still very important. They're very divided too. I'm getting immigration right now, but it's usually the Ukrainians, Greeks, Russians, Tatars, and then yeah. So it's basically like that. But I don't have any unrest. Oh, I do have unrest, a little bit of unrest probably. I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know. But it's basically that. That's basically it. See you guys. I'm gonna end it right here, and go try Crimea out for yourself. Go play it. I'm gonna say it's a mix of easy and then hard at the start because you're isolated. You're not at war. You don't have, you're not at war. You don't have too many cores except for Kherson, so you're pretty isolated. But see you guys. Try it out. Bye bye.